August 1944. Over Nazi-occupied Yugoslavia, 500 American airmen disappeared from the sky, shot down, captured. The Pentagon wrote them off, too dangerous to recover. But dirt-poor Serbian farmers started finding them. Instead of turning them in for Nazi bounties, they did something insane. They hid them, fed them, protected 500 Americans while the Gestapo hunted door to door. Then an OSS agent had an impossible idea. Build a secret airstrip in Nazi-occupied forest. Fly out 500 men, without losing a single plane. What happened next became the largest rescue mission in American military history, and for 50 years, no one knew it existed. This is Operation Halyard. The mission, they said, couldn't be done. The missions to Plesty were suicide runs, Germany's oil refineries, protected by 500 anti-aircraft guns, the deadliest target in Europe. Lieutenant Mike McCool's bomber took a direct hit over Serbia in June 1944. 7 crew members bailed out into Nazi territory. The briefing was grim. If you go down over the Balkans, you're on your own. McCool expected death. What he got was an old Serbian farmer. Americans, come, fast, Germans everywhere. Within an hour, they were hidden in a hayloft while Wehrmacht trucks rolled past below. By August, 500 airmen scattered across occupied territory, some hiding for months. The Pentagon did the math. 500 missing, 0 chance of recovery. The recommendation? Forget about them. But Lieutenant George Musulin, an OSS operative who spoke Serbian, refused. He knew Serbian Chetniks were protecting Americans. His plan? Parachute in, build an airstrip, evacuate 500 men. The Pentagon: you'll all be dead in a week. Musulin: then we better move fast. 3 men to rescue 500. Lieutenant George Musulin, Captain Nick Lalich, radio man Arthur Jibilian. No backup. August 2nd, 1944. They jumped at midnight into pitch black. Within minutes, bearded Chetnik fighters emerged from the trees. General Mihailovich's men. Americans, we have many, hidden in villages. The plan was simple. Use Pranjani Valley. Build an airstrip. The problem? It was farmland, rocks, trees, completely unsuitable for aircraft. Musulin: we need 600 yards, flat, no rocks, 2 weeks. The Serbs laughed. Then they mobilized. Entire villages, working at night to avoid German planes. No machines, just shovels and muscle. They carried away boulders by hand. These Serbs were starving, their crops seized by the Wehrmacht. Germans had threatened mass execution for helping Americans. Yet here they were. They shared their last bread, crushed their last walnuts for wounded pilots. When McCool tried to thank them, you fight Nazis, we fight Nazis, same fight. August 9th. Jibilian radioed Italy. Halyard prepared, airstrip operational. Response: negative, too dangerous. Mihailovich understood English. Your generals do not believe? Musulin nodded. Mihailovich smiled, tired, weathered. Then we proved them wrong, yes? Germans were everywhere. Wehrmacht convoys, Luftwaffe reconnaissance, Gestapo interrogations. One slip and Operation Halyard would become a massacre. 240 airmen scattered across 30 villages. Now they needed to reach Pranjani without being spotted. The Serbs dyed American jackets to look like peasant clothes. Airmen moved at night in small groups, following Chetnik guides who knew every goat path. Wounded airmen, broken legs, burns, shrapnel wounds, were kept alive by Serbian women with no training, just torn sheets and determination. By day, the airstrip looked like farmland. At night, Serbs refined it, smoothing ruts, marking runway edges, building dugouts for cover. Radio man Jibilian was their only link to Italy. Short bursts, 5 minutes max, then relocate. German detection trucks hunted constantly. The nearest garrison was 12 miles away. 700 Wehrmacht. They could reach Pranjani in 40 minutes. Mihailovich's strategy was suicidal. If Germans attacked, Chetniks would delay them. 300 against 700 with tanks. They prepared anyway. August 9th. Musulin briefed evacuees. In 72 hours, C-47s will land. The Serbs risked everything. Don't make them regret it. That night, airmen slept in forests. No fires, no noise. Over the Adriatic, American pilots were being briefed on the most dangerous rescue mission of the war. August 9th, 1944. Dawn. 240 airmen crouched in the tree line. Musulin checked his watch. The C-47s were supposed to arrive at 0900. Chetniks had sentries on every hilltop. They'd memorized German engine sounds. If Luftwaffe spotted them, P-38 escorts would engage. Serbian villagers pretended to work crops. Everyone was a lookout. At 0855, someone heard it. C-47 sky trains, 6 in tight formation, flying low. The airmen stood frozen, not daring to believe. Musulin fired a green flare. The first C-47 dropped fast. Wheels hit hard, bounced violently, stopped, spun around, ready for takeoff. Go, go, go! Airmen sprinted, 12 per plane, the limit. They scrambled aboard, tears streaming. Mihailovich watched from a hillside. His men had fought 3 years, lost families, starved. Today, America remembered its debt. 60 seconds from touchdown to takeoff. The plane lifted, clearing trees by 20 feet. 6 planes, 72 airmen, gone in 15 minutes. The message reached Italy. Halyard successful, 72 extracted, 0 casualties. Pentagon expected disaster. Got a miracle. At Chachak garrison 12 miles away, a German officer studied reports. Villagers acting strange. Unconfirmed aircraft sounds. He ordered investigation. Midnight. Chetnik runner. Germans coming tomorrow? Musulin decided, accelerate. 2 flights per day. Risk everything on speed. August 10th, 0600. 12 C-47s appeared. They landed in pairs, loaded in 90 seconds, punched out. 144 extracted before breakfast. Serbs watched, crying. They'd hidden Americans for months, shared their last bread. Now Americans were going home. McCool hugged the farmer who'd hidden him. Thank you. The old man shook his head. You go kill more Nazis. The C-47s kept coming. More extracted each day. Wehrmacht getting closer. December 27th, 1944. The last flight of Operation Halyard. 5 months of operations. 432 airmen already evacuated. 80 more still waiting. And this time, the Wehrmacht was closing in. Intelligence confirmed the worst. A full Wehrmacht battalion marching toward Pranjani. 600 soldiers, tanks, armored cars. They'd found the airstrip. Mihailovich deployed every fighter left. 300 Chetniks, outnumbered 2 to 1. Mission: delay Germans long enough for final C-47s to escape. 80 airmen watched the sky. They could hear gunfire in the mountains. German machine guns, Chetnik rifles. The battle had started. Chetniks hit Germans hard. Ambush positions, sniper fire. Wehrmacht advance slowed, tangled in mountain passes. C-47s came in low and fast. 6 planes. Battle raging 3 miles away. Smoke on horizon. They didn't hesitate. Wheels down. Land, load, get out. Mihailovich found Musulin. You go now. Germans here in 1 hour. Musulin gripped his hand. What do you say to a man who saved 500 Americans knowing it would cost him everything? Planes lifted off as artillery shells landed. Geysers of dirt. Shrapnel screaming. 1 C-47 took damage. Metal through the tail. It kept flying. From the air, airmen watched Pranjani disappear. Muzzle flashes below. Chetniks still fighting, still buying time. Final count. 512 airmen evacuated. August through December. Not a single American lost during extraction. The largest rescue operation behind enemy lines in military history. Germans reached Pranjani 2 hours later, found an empty field. They'd been outwitted by farmers with shovels. German reprisals were brutal. Villages burned. Chetniks hunted. The Serbs who saved Americans paid in blood. Mihailovich went deeper into hiding. After the war, captured by communist government. Show trial 1946, execution by firing squad. 512 Americans went home. Most never spoke about Halyard. Classified top secret. The mission didn't exist. Serbs forgotten. For 50 years, Halyard didn't officially exist. Until 1997. Classified files opened. The truth about the secret airstrip. The farmers who built it. The general who died protecting Americans while America abandoned him. The mission they said couldn't be done by people the world forgot. For 5 decades, Operation Halyard was classified top secret. Airmen ordered never to speak. Serbs written out of history. Mihailovic executed and buried in an unmarked grave. 1997. Files opened. Military historians stunned. The largest Allied rescue mission of WWII had been hidden 50 years. Pentagon hadn't publicized it. Would have exposed Serbs to Nazi reprisals. Cold War politics buried it. But surviving airmen never forgot. Lieutenant Richard Fellman spent decades telling the story. 2005, President Bush posthumously awarded Mihailovic the Legion of Merit, America's highest award for foreign nationals. But the Serbian villagers? The ones who hid Americans while Germans searched house to house? Most died in poverty, forgotten. Some executed by Nazis. Others starved in Tito's gulags. Pranjani still exists. Tiny village in central Serbia. A memorial marker. Serbian peasants and American airmen defied Nazi occupation. Too remote. Too forgotten. Arthur Jabilian, the radio man who coordinated the operation, lived until 2007. He spent his final years telling anyone who would listen. They shared their last piece of bread with us, carried our wounded through the mountains, fought the Germans to buy us time, and when the war was over, we abandoned them. George Musulin returned to Yugoslavia in 1990 after the communist government fell. Found scattered wreckage of American B-24 bombers still lying in the forests. Rusted, overgrown, silent monuments. 512 airmen rescued. 84 C-47 flights into enemy airspace. 5 months continuous operations. Not a single American lost during extraction. Military analysts calculated odds at less than 5% success. It succeeded because ordinary people, barely literate farmers who owned nothing, decided saving American lives mattered more than their survival. They built an airstrip with bare hands, fed strangers with food their families needed, asked nothing in return. Operation Halyard proved real courage isn't about weapons or training. It's about ordinary people deciding some things are worth dying for, keeping your word, protecting the helpless, doing what's right when the world tells you to save yourself. The Serbs didn't do it for medals. They did it for one reason. When American boys fell from the sky, terrified and alone, somebody had to help them survive. Those Serbian farmers decided, we are that somebody. 512 Americans went home because Serbian peasants built an impossible airstrip and dared the Wehrmacht to stop them. The mission every expert said couldn't be done. The people the world deliberately forgot. Operation Halyard. Remember them.